Hello guys, CGCAKE is here. Today we're gonna go through the Mollecular Plus add-on with its latest update 1.1.10. This tutorial is mainly aimed for beginners, and throughout this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to install the Mollecular Plus add-on, and then I'm gonna proceed by creating a bowl, a simple background to make a simple scene for the sake of this tutorial. So this video is split up in many different sections, and you can select the relevant section for you down in the progress bar. Without further ado, let's begin. Alright guys, so I'm gonna show you how to install the Mollecular Plus add-on, and first thing to do is to go to the website here, which I'm gonna leave the link in the video description. And this is the Mollecular Plus 1.1.10, and there are many versions for many operating systems, and since I have the Windows 11 here, so I proceeded with this one, which ends with win.zip. So once you downloaded that, you go back to Blender, you press edit here, go to preferences, and then in the add-ons tab here you press install, and then you go to your download folder. Depend on which one you did choose for your download folder, but me, I have external add-ons, and you can search like Mollecular, and then it's here. And once you selected that, you just press install add-on and you will have it, and you can access it by pressing N on the keyboard, and if you scroll here you will find Mollecular. So this is the add-on properly installed. Alright, so now guys, normally I'm gonna create a bowl. So the idea is we're gonna have a bowl and two objects gonna fall down and make this molecular effect. So first thing to do is I'm gonna create a plane, gonna scale it a little bit. I'm gonna delete the cube. I'm gonna create a cylinder, and make sure you choose 8 on the vertices here. When you click here, just instead of 32 just put 8, so it's low poly count. Gonna grab it up in the Z axis and press tab to go in edit mode, and we're gonna just make an easy bowl. We select the top face and then we increase it, and normally that's it. We press X to delete the top face, and I'm gonna go here, and so this is the modifier properties. We're gonna select the solidify modifier. We increase the thickness a little bit, like that would be fine. And then we add the subdivision surface modifier. Normally it should go, because we don't see now the solidify effect, so I'm gonna push the solidify down here, so now it works. And then we shade smooth, and I'm gonna increase the level of details in the viewport. 3, it's fine, it's more than fine. 3. We're gonna refine this a little bit by making an edge loop here and another one here. Yeah, something like that is fine. And we select the bottom edges, and by press Shift and E you go in the crease mode, and you can do it like that. So this is a fine bowl. I'm gonna make sure that it's not intersecting here. That's it, perfect. I'm gonna increase the actually not increase, but I'm gonna just decide the how I'm gonna take this shot. Normally I think when you press from this viewport, you press Ctrl Alt and 0, you just set the camera on this position. It's very handy to quickly select the shot. And then I select the plane, enter tab, edit mode, and then select this edge and extrude it in the z-axis, and then select this and then bevel it with Ctrl B, and then with the middle mouse you can increase the edge loop, and then you select it, that's it, you press and shade smooth, so we have a nice kind of background effect. Alright, so normally that's it. We have the resolution, so this is like the HD resolution, but there is the short, like for YouTube short or TikTok short. You can just, I made this custom myself and I saved it as short, but these are the resolution. It's kind of inverted here. So the 1920, which it was here, it went down below, and the 1080 it went up, so just the opposite side. But yeah, we can do it as a YouTube short or anything you like. So for now I'm gonna leave it just as it is, which 1080. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a cube. I'm gonna crease like this, gonna put it up here, and what we're gonna do is we give properties to this one, and then we can duplicate it, because if we duplicate it right now, then we have to do the same settings twice, which is gonna be a bit tidy, but best practice to do just one. So we press N, we select Mollecular, and then you give it the 3D grid here. So you don't see anything, but if you press spacebar, you see this Mollecular just go down. Nothing happens, because for the molecular things to interact with the scene, you need to give the bowl, for example, you need to give it a collider, and then you give the background or the floor, you give it a collider as well. So now it collide. Okay, so now we're gonna mess up, actually not mess up, we're gonna just play with the settings a bit. You select the cube, I'm gonna name it here 1, so it's instinctive, and we go to the physics properties here. We activate the calculate particle weight by density, and we activate the link at birth, and that's it. So normally now there are a bunch of settings, but now for now, if you press start simulation, you're gonna see just the default. What it's gonna do is it seems like a jelly, kind of a soft body, but we don't like a soft body for now. We're gonna cancel that, and what you can do is pretty easy. From all of these settings here, you just go to broken. It's called this setting called be broken, and how much link can stretch before they broken. So what they mean here, the between two particles, between each particles, like how much distance before they can be broken or separated. And here in the rand broken, which is mean random broken, is the same thing but in a randomized way. So you may leave the first broken like that with the default settings, and you just increase this to 0.7 and then see how it goes. It looks pretty fine. I like that. So here we have size. All right, actually I have to remove this from the viewport. So if you go to particle properties, viewport, and render, so in the render you just uncheck the show emitter, and in the viewport display you uncheck show emitter as well. So now you can see with the particles properly. And the size, it's like the size, it can affect the density, or maybe it's the density. because if we put it like 0.07, let's say, and you press again 3D grid, it's more dense now. Yeah, so as you want. If you increase it to, let's say, 1, we don't see anything, but 0.2 for example, so it's messed up kind of. It's decreased, the density decreased. So anyway, so I'm gonna put like 0.08. I think it's fine, looks nice. And now what we can do, we can duplicate it. So make sure it's properly positioned. And what we can do now is, I think I might increase the size of them both, because why not, you know. I think something is wrong with this one. Maybe I should change it to 0.9. I don't know why, but it seems weird. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete this one and just duplicate this one. You know, weird stuff sometimes happen, and now you see it's fixed and it looks fine. But anyway, a quick fix. Anyway, so I'm gonna name this 2 and this 1. So 1, 2. And what we can do now is give them. Actually, I'm gonna start the simulation. All right. Nice. Oh, we forgot something. I'm gonna cancel it. So for these two to collide with each other down here, we should activate one more setting, which is collision with others, to this one and to this one. They both need to be with collision with others. And now if we free all the bake and start the simulation, it will make more sense. Very nice. So like you see that the particles kind of broken from a side, and from the top side they still intact. So depend on what you want to achieve, but you can play with the settings here and get the result you want. So for example, I'm sure like in this situation, if I increase the random broken to 0.9, let's say, it's gonna be almost like juice here. It's gonna be really broken, you know. But yeah, so it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna just speed up this section of the video and I'll come back. Alright guys, so after I finished the simulation, I just realized something, that there is a problem, because we need to free all the simulation we made, because it's better to split these the particle system, because now they use the same, which means if you go to object, it disables them both, while it should just disable the one I'm working with. So to do that, you just go to wherever one you choose and then you press this button. So now each one have its own particle system. Alright, so now if we go and choose object and then choose this, so it affects only this one without affecting the other. So in that way you can give this a material, its own material, and the other its own material. So this is very important, guys. Like, don't skip through this, you know. It won't work any other way. You need to split the particle systems afterward. and before the simulation, because if you start the simulation then you can no longer split them. Okay, so that's a useful tip there. All right, now I'm gonna give each one its icosphere. So I'm gonna choose object and select this one. All right, so now since we did that, everything is fine, and now we can do and proceed with the simulation. Alright guys, so the simulation finished and everything looks great. So this is how it's gonna look. I love it. So now I'm gonna proceed with the shading, which is pretty easy to do. I'm gonna choose the viewport shading. I'm gonna begin with this huge background. Give it a new material. In the material tab here, base color, let's say something like this, a bit dark. And the bowl, we may give it a glass shader, or you can just make it like a porcelain kind of bowl, as you want. But I'm gonna show you a trick how to do to make it look appealing. If you wanna make it porcelain, by normally you just add a loop like this, and then you press this one. You add a new material here, and another one, and then here you can make it like something like goldy, a bit metallic, and roughness down, assign. So you got this one, and then you press Ctrl I to flip, select the other around, and then you can play with the other part. You can leave it white, shiny white like this, or you can just give it a glass. I don't think glass would work with this kind of band wrapping here, but we will see about that, you know. But normally now I'm gonna just make it shiny, give it a clear coat, maybe something like that. And I think the background doesn't look good. I'm gonna change it to black maybe. Okay, so now most of people who want to color the particles themselves, they will just go and choose like this, add a new material and change, but nothing change, and they are confused and stuff because you don't change it from here. You don't touch this. What you touch is this icosphere that you selected. So it's from here. If you add the new material, and then if you change, then you change the color, right? Let's say like milk and chocolate, for example. So to get an accurate color pattern, I think I'm gonna just change to cycle, choose GPU, decrease the sampling here so it's faster to preview, and I'm gonna go to cycle. Beautiful already. See, one good thing I like to do for lighting is to go ahead to the world properties here, color, environment, texture, and from here I will go and choose a good HDRI picture from my HDRI folder, and you can just try with different HDRI images and see which one fits best. It depends on what kind of look do you like for your render. Actually, I think the first one was good. Just a bit dark. You can increase the the light from the strength, something like that. So that's how it would look. We can duplicate the light here, the point light. Yeah, something like that would be nice. I feel this band that we did here, it's not shiny enough, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it maybe more shiny if I can, or change the color a bit more. And go to the roughness. Increase a bit the specular here, and normally it looks fine. The porcelain itself, it's not bad. Increase the specular as well, more roughness, so it looks kind of new. So that's it. So normally now I'm gonna show you how to render this. We go to output property here. So the frame is end into 150 as we did here. Normally frame rate I always choose 30. The output settings, and it's best practice to render always as PNG first and then make it as video, because normally most of the time, even though I have a powerful computer, but it freezes, and sometimes my computer crashes and I have to restart and I lose all my render and I have to do it all over, like after hours of waiting, you know. So it's better to do with PNG first. Okay, you can choose the output folder, which it can be TMP for me, no problem, but you can choose your output folder. It's very important to select all your file later on. And normally that's it. You can now press Ctrl and 12 to begin the rendering process, and that's it.